everybody out to Wilkes County, North Carolina, where we have the North Wilkesboro Speedway playing host to the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. I'm Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Brian Britt, and as always, Austin at Derbyshire is behind the production booth, or almost as always. He's been flaking on us a little bit lately. I've had Burris up here, but tonight we got the legend, the man, the myth, the C-plus commentator himself, Austin Derbyshire, back. Commentator, I already ruined it. Drop me down. Either way, we got the normal cast up here for the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series, and possibly the longest intro that we've ever had as well. Welcome in. We're going to take you on a little tour of the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Brian, why don't you take it away? My voice is getting a little sore.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a long intro, so I can't wait while you're pleased. But here we are, North Wilkesboro, one of the pretty much classic NASCAR track. Has a research here. Adelaide is a 26.3 mile short track, and so kind of like a bull ring in a lot of ways. This track is very, very awesome. It's really fun. I mean, you can get some multi-groove racing going here, but it is incredibly difficult to pass. I would not be surprised if we're going to see some passing probably on the top or middle groove later. So definitely exciting, but there's a lot of opportunity for drivers to hit each other's bumpers, that's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. Going to be a lot of opportunities for some bump and runs. It might be a little sketchy, but you know what? Somebody's going to overcook those brakes every now and again into one of these corners and run over the couple guys in front of them, maybe if it's on a restart. But Brian, why don't you take us through your keys to the race?
Well, I definitely mentioned how hard it's going to be to pass, so I feel like qualifying is going to be incredibly important at this racetrack. I think you're going to want to start up front. You definitely are going to want to have that advantage of having that first place position, because then you're going to be able to launch better than everybody else. Of course, the second key is going to be back up your corners. This place has been pretty treacherous when it comes to tires. We're going to probably see about a half a second of fall off, and you're going to want to back up the corners so you can lead to that third key, which is to get a straight exit. Backing up the corner allows you to kind of unwind the wheel on the exit, and that helps save tire, and it gives you speed on the straightaways.
The last two go really, really well together, don't they? Backing up the corners, getting a straight exit, kind of go hand in hand if you got the line figured out, especially at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. But we're going to move into our broadcasters' picks real quick. For me, I'm picking Keegan Sabilo. I feel like it's low-hanging fruit. Old, worn-out short track. Keegan Sabilo is a short track guy through and through, so I pick Sabilo to win it.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. That's a really good pick. I wanted to pick Keegan, but then I thought about it. I was like, Carter Casey was really good last week at Darlington, and this is a tricky track too here in North Wilkesboro. He's fastest in practice. I think Carter might be able to get it done again.
And Austin Derbyshire also hopping on the Keegan Sabilo bandwagon. I feel like it's, like I said, it's the low-hanging fruit. It's the safe pick. Sabilo is going to be good on the long run, and, well, he's got it at the top step of the qualifying charts right now by a whole 1/10 of a second. Now, to Brian Britt's point, Carter Casey actually has not laid down a qualifying lap yet, so he's also currently not in the session. So he's dropped internet connection, so Carter Casey might either have to start at the rear of the field or start laps down.
Just because I picked him. I don't know. Anytime I pick somebody, it's just they just do terribly. But I do want to quickly apprise us of the standing. Of course, coming into this race course, Nathan Meyer has about 336 points. We, of course, saw him have a technical issue last week at Darlington Raceway, so he actually did not get as many points as he could have. Keegan Sabilo did narrow the gap, but not very much. 15 points separate these two drivers. James Harris, of course, he's about 6 points back from Keegan Sabilo. So the top three here are not very close on points, as close as I'm sure Keegan and James want. So they're hoping that Nathan has another bad race.
Well, I feel like this is a racetrack that could definitely, lead itself to those kind of mistakes. Even out a championship leader, he's got a lot of pressure on him having that 15-point lead. Yeah, he's got a bit of a gap, but maybe it lulls you into a little bit of screwed up sense of security, right? You really shouldn't feel that way, but I don't know. I just feel like this racetrack could lend itself to a mistake out of Meyer or getting taken out by somebody else, something that's not of his own doing.
If we see long greens, though, I think that this could be a bad day for. We could see Keegan have something go wrong. This is such a hard track to pass at. If you encounter lap traffic, it's going to be hard to deal with them, and that could allow Nathan Meyer to get somewhere. I just think there's so many variables at this race here tonight, and 150 laps is a lot of laps for something to go wrong.
No kidding. And the two championship leaders are starting on the front row. We're going to run through our starting grid. Keegan Sabilo trying to run down the points lead on Nathan Meyer. But through qualifying, Nathan Meyer's not letting them get too far ahead. So Sabilo still has a lot of work to do, or or he's got to keep that position and hope Meyer falls through the pack. James Harris is going to be starting in the third place spot with Jason Taylor on his outside in fourth. John Lucido is going to be starting in fifth with George Young in sixth place. John Ledger is going to be starting in seventh with Tyler Meeks on the outside of row number 4. William Mann Jr. is going to be starting in the ninth place position with Kalen Mitchell on his outside, rounding out the top 10.
Ray Kennison is going to be starting in 11th place. Brian Thacker starts in 12th. Nick Jaboski starts in 13th place. Colby Jackson is going to be in 14th. Andrew Hale, our reigning champion, is in 15th. Carter Casey, I think, is back in the session, so good for him at least. He's in 16th. James Loveland, who had a very impressive performance last week at Darlington, was on a little bit of alternate strategy. He's in 17th. Russ Kilgore in 18th.
Like you said, Carter Casey made it back, was not able to put down a qualifying lap, though. So that's, you were talking about in your keys to the race, the top key was qualify well, and well, Carter Casey didn't even get the opportunity. He's going to be starting back in 16th. Yeah. Going to have to pass a lot of trucks.
He will. One thing I do want to mention, though, as well, is if we see a lot of cautions and we see some drivers kind of do some, strategies and things like that, going down pit road, grab a set of tires, that is opportunity for Carter Casey to stay out one day or stay out once and maybe jump a bunch of positions. So
a little bit of strategy could play into or get into play here tonight. That's a good point. Only 3 tire sets behind the pit wall, so 150 laps, man, at this place. That's definitely the right number, but I could definitely see that creating strategy.
Yeah, that'd be about 50 lap per. I think probably about 50 laps per set of tires might be the name of the game. I don't know.
Well, we got 4 total because the one's on the car, so probably like 38. I think is the average. 150 divided by 4, 38.3 probably.
Nathan already having some blinking issues there. That's unfortunate to see.
37.5. I don't know what I was thinking. Either way, close enough. 38. We're going to round that up to 38 to make me sound smart. So 38 laps on the tires. That could play into some strategy here as we get the first pace lap out of the way. 2 pace laps at little short tracks. Man, I can't wait to get this one started, though. North Wilkesboro. I mean, this place is obviously unbelievably historic. Champion Power Equipment Truck Series has been going on for quite a while. Quite a while, I should say. My goodness. Good start to the evening.
This has definitely been a long-running series, and this track is legendary. So glad that they put this track on iRacing. I'm wondering if they're going to ever do the new scan of this track as well, because it is quite different from what we see in NASCAR now.
I am sure that we will get that pretty soon. I mean, it's close enough to home where they can get that done pretty quick. But the race, or the iRacing pace car is about to come down pit road, and Keegan Sabilo, on the bottom side of the racetrack, is pushed to the gas. But he's all types of swirly on the bottom side, immediately giving up that advantage that he earned in qualifying. Nathan Meyer to the race lead.
Well, that caution flag is already out on the racetrack, and I don't know why. I don't think I saw anybody really have a wreck there. But, yeah, that was a huge loss for Keegan Sabilo, who's now going to be having to start on the outside after that caution flag. I don't know if he was maybe in the wrong gear, a too low of a gear, and just the tires weren't warm enough to grip.
Well, I feel like it was more so that the bottom side of the racetrack there in turn 1 and 2 exiting turn 4 is kind of flat, and I think he got too low.
And it does appear that we've actually had the caution thrown by an admin. There was not actually any incident on the racetrack. So I think, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but maybe Keegan's moment there kind of scared race control.
Maybe a little bit. There could have been some black flags through the field, and they were trying to clear black flags.
That actually could be, too. It could be something as simple as that. But, I mean, that is definitely a huge loss there. But green flag's already back out. That was quick. Already problems to 55 of James Harris. Sideways in front of the field. This is not what Harris needs.
Yeah, that one was definitely a caution. I can tell you that right now. That was that's our third place championship contender spinning from the 4th place position on the racetrack on the restart. Gonna catch a replay. But man, I guess one of the keys to the race should have been watch tire spin on restarts, huh?
Yeah, that was awful. And, a lot of this could be because of the placing of the restart zone. Because, I mean, they're coming out of a corner So, I mean, he might have had wheel in it or something. I'm not sure. Let's take a look on board. I think that'd be best. I want to see what his inputs are. Like, what is he doing with the throttle? What is he doing with that wheel? So he definitely did something.
It was right on the shift.
He shifted something, did something.
Well,
I think he downshifted.
You might be right. I think that tack went all the way up to the exact same RPM it was at whenever he shifted. So that must have been a downshift.
I think he mistakenly downshifted, and of course, that is going to unsettle the truck. And I think that's exactly what happened. He downshifted. I bet he's kicking himself over that.
Yeah, there's no saving that. There's no, not here. Not whenever you're pacing around at 44 miles an hour.
Yeah. And that is such a crucial, critical thing. I guarantee you he is kicking himself over that, because I mean, we got 2 races to go after this race here. This is crunch time, Austin.
I think that, I mean, if he's damaged, that takes him out of the championship hunt.
It could. I mean, for sure. I mean, that's what he was hoping would happen to Nathan Meyer, not him. Like, wow.
Well, there's still a lot of time left in this one, and we've already seen 2 of the 3 championship contenders screw up on a restart. So will Nathan Meyer be the next?
It could happen. I mean, it seems like this is definitely not your average race.
Let's make it a perfect 3 for 3. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't really think that the restarts were going to be so crazy, but obviously if you downshift, I mean, I've definitely done that myself, so I'm definitely not trying to hate on James Harris, but if you downshift, you're just not saving it. You start at these low speeds, you've got the most amount of torque from the RPM getting up to the high RPMs and like acceleration, so if you downshift in that and slam the gas, it's not going to feel good. We're coming back to the restart. iRacing pace car back off the racetrack, immediately into the restart zone. Looks a lot cleaner this time through the field. Nathan Meyer with a good jump over Sabilo down to 1 and 2. Single file for the front 3.
Yeah, I think they learned their lessons there. Definitely a good start there. Look at that, Lucido up to 3rd place right now. He's going to definitely be trying to continue to work his way forward as he works his way to the back of the 77. Of course, we see the 48. George Young battling with John Ligger. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there off the corner there from William Mann Jr.
Oh, man, what a save.
Wide, Brad Thacker on the bottom as you see Carter Casey weaving his way up into the top 10.
Brad Thacker, you were talking about a bit of a wiggle. Brad Thacker was twerking all the way down the front straightaway.
That's a way to describe it. That's interesting.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, he was throwing that thing back.
Big battle, though, between, of course, Jason Taylor and John Legger. This is, of course, for the 4th place position. You see as well, I do believe, Tyler Meeks in a heated battle with George Young. And Meeks, I tell you, earlier in this season was looking like he was just a really, really strong contender for possibly a win. Just, I don't know. I think he's trying to get that speed back.
Yeah, but you really can't do it on the short run here, right? Like, you got to get a couple positions, hope that you jump a couple on the restart and can find some clean air contact. James Harris can't catch a break, can he?
And that's Ray Kennison up there in that green truck that we're looking at as he smashes the outside wall. James Harris, 55, really desperate to try to get this position as we see this battle for the race lead. Keegan Sabilo on the inside, trying to take the position.
I didn't think Sabilo would drive this hard this early. I thought he'd be saving tires, but look at him on the bottom side of the racetrack, just wrap it all the way around. Not willing to leave it, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's got the tire saving line figured out in 4. The way that he exits that corner, super straight on the apron, basically. I mean, he's wrapping the line perfect. Even though Sabilo's pushing hard, he's tire saving at the same time, I can tell you.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he's a short track guy. I mean, this is what he does. And that bottom groove is the line that you usually run in order to try to save tires at this racetrack. But you can just see how much faster that top side is, though. Nathan's able to get a straighter exit and really just maximize momentum. But what is that doing to the tires?
That's the thing. Meyer's having to push harder than Sabilo is to keep it on the outside. I really do believe that. And then 1 and 2, it's even. I think that it's both lanes are pretty viable. I don't think that Meyer has to push too much harder than Sabilo, but down in 3 and 4, Sabilo does not get on the gas until he's exiting the corner. I am telling you, he is rotating all the way down on the bottom side of the racetrack, letting that thing rotate. He's still not off the bottom. He's wrapping it until he gets to the pit wall.
Well, it looks like Meyer might be clear here this time. He's been pinching the 77 down, and I think that's the only thing he's been really able to successfully do here to keep the 77 from actually making the pass. And, you know, this is a track that you have to get the exit. You know, you have to get a straight exit. They have the momentum off the corner. And that's what Meyer is taking away from Sabilo right now.
Ooh, close between them in 1 and 2 that time. Meyer ends up giving a lot of room on Lucido. Oh, he tried to stick his nose in there, wasn't quite able to do it. And Meyer with a huge run on the outside of the racetrack. Sabilo finally has to give way. I still think on the long run, Sabilo is going to be the fastest truck with that line he's running.
No, I agree with you. And I think that he actually just conceded a little bit there because he's like, you know, this battling is not doing my tires well. Because, I mean, of course, even though he is running that bottom line, which is conducive to saving tires, he's still having to, like, bend his truck down further than he wants to, right?
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. It still does hurt him a little
Yellow
bit.
flags
The caution flags out. Only lap 20, though, and we've seen 2 cautions so far, so probably too early to take a set of tires. Maybe a couple. I bet you a couple guys towards the back will. But the replay is going to come out. We're going to look to see what happened to the number 3 of Colby Jackson coming down into turn 3.
Wow.
Just loses under braking. A little bit too late on the brakes. Had to punch him pretty hard, and the back end just stepped around.
Yeah, this is I'm surprised that even brought one out.
Save,
I mean, he definitely saved it. And but yeah, I mean, I heard that from Harris before the race. You know, those guys were kind of talking about how loose it's going to be under braking, but this is a rhythm track, and that's where backing up the corners comes in. And I think he just overshot his braking zone.
We're going to see, do we see a split strategy? Does somebody burn a set early? You can do it. You can still make it work. It's going to be James Harris. Well, that's not a surprise. Being in the position where he's got, or that he's in the point standings, put himself behind the 8 ball. I'm not shocked at all to see him go off strategy.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, I think that's exactly what's playing out right here. This 55, he has to do something crazy to get back in the mix here.
Well, and I'm going to read off the last few lap times, all right, to kind of tell you about the tire fall off up at the front of the field. Keegan Sabilo, second lap after the restart, ran his fastest lap of the race. That was lap number 10, second lap after the restart, at a 19.77. By lap 19, he was already 0.8 of a second off that pace. So I think this could work out pretty well for James Harris. That might be inflated a little bit because Sabilo was getting passed by Lucido, but it's still I would say 4/10 minimum of a advantage that he's going to have over the field here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be, you know, if that allows him to get through the field. I mean, of course, it's going to be a lot like a parking lot still. But here we go. I think pace car lights are getting ready to go out. And we'll see what that if that strategy is going to play out.
I think he's going to fly through the field, to be honest with you. I think he's going to absolutely chew these guys up. Just, is he going to burn them out getting through everybody?
That's the thing, yeah.
I still think he'll take the lead.
He'll have to push himself out of his comfort zone a little bit.
If this thing stays green, I'm telling you.
Yeah, if we stays green, he's going to be in a good position. And I'm sure that's what Harris is hoping for.
Nathan Meyer on the bottom side of the racetrack for this restart with the iRacing pace car getting ready to pull in. And the quickest run from pace car off the racetrack to the restart zone on the surface. Nathan Meyer back to the loud pedal, and oh man, Sabilo actually got a good jump from third. But Lucido, man, he drove it around to the outside. Man, way out to the outside of the corner. A little bit too far outside, though. Still gets a pretty good run off.
Yeah, Lucido actually is looking really strong right now. Side by side for the lead as they battle. Can the 24 get clear? Can he? He's looking pretty vulnerable here to the 73. John Lucido seems like he knows how to wrap that top side. As there's some more battling further back as they remain side by side for the lead. Loving this multi-groove racing here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, Lucido is driving that thing in deep to both corners and then getting the nose to rotate and getting a great straight run off the corner. I think he's using a little bit more wheel than Meyer, but I mean, he's laying down some pretty quick lap times up on the top side of the racetrack against our championship points leader. So good tight battle between the two as Lucido gets a little loose on the outside. Oh, somebody goes spinning into the inside fence.
Oh, no, the two.
That's Russ Kilgore. Oh, pulling it back out on the racetrack, and that's going to bring out the yellow.
Yeah, caution wasn't going to come out until he did come back up onto the racetrack. Luckily, did not see any further incident after that.
Yeah, this was the first lap of the restart. George Young had spun it to the inside. It was pretty minor, but that's why the caution ended up coming out, because George Young was so far back off of the main pack. And Russ came back on the racetrack. Well, Russ came back on the racetrack for the actual incident.
So it looks like that George Young was so far back. Looks like William Mann Jr. got into the rear end of
Oh, William Mann's here again. Did he come off the wall? It doesn't look like it. It might be the 3. Oh. Actually, the 2 kind of ran up a little bit too much. Yeah, he ran up off the corner a little bit too much. But then he comes back on the racetrack, and George Young is so far back that caused the caution right there, where he's
I got you. That kind of saved George Young, to be honest with you.
It definitely did. He would have gone a lap down, man, after a little spin like that, and then getting put off your rhythm. Well, I guess he was already a lap down. He's getting. Oh wow, that really saved him. He was already a lap down before that. Okay, well, congrats to George Young, get back on the lead lap. When did he lose a lap?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
No, he didn't lose it when he got spun.
He must have. I mean,
unless he just
the lap times around this place are about 19 seconds. So, I mean, I guess he could have lost a lap. I mean, the lap times do go by fairly quickly, and him trying to get back going. But, I mean, I don't recall seeing him down on the bottom of the track.
Oh, my. He did. He got stuck on the fence and had to back it up, and then everybody went by. No. He ended up stopping, which credit to him for stopping down on the apron so the caution flag wouldn't come out. He got rewarded for his efforts. Credit to that was good karma, immediate good karma for George Young to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I didn't even see him down there.
I didn't either.
He was just being a good boy down there. Wasn't bothering anybody. Like I'll wait. Like,
I mean, I've never seen more instant good karma on iRacing. Yeah. I've definitely seen the instant bad karma. But that was pretty good karma for George Young there. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do coming from the back of the pack. Nobody really came down pit road, so James Harris still with the tire advantage, has worked his way up to the 9th place position. I think it's already paying off for him a little bit, and that wasn't even that long of a run. Everybody not coming in on this pit stop was huge for him. Nathan Meyer back to the restart zone, back to the gas, and back to the lead as they're side by side for second behind. Lucido, though, with a little bit better run into turn number 1, throws it into the outside of the corner once again. Sabilo pretty good through the center, but Lucido's going to get that run off and clear him for the 2nd place spot. So Hornets Nest behind. James Harris still trying to work his way through.
Yeah, Harris is going to be, he's like lightning right now with those new tires. I think that is definitely working out for him very well. He's passing people a lot easier than I kind of thought he was going to be able to. But, of course, Carter Casey, driver I picked, he's up into 8th right now. He's been slowly but surely working his way into the mix. But looking at lap times, I mean, from James Harris, he's about 3/10 faster than the drivers around him. And that's a lot at North Wilkesboro, considering the lap times right now are about 20 seconds.
Yeah, and he's still stuck in the lap traffic, right? So it's going to take a little bit of time for and we're going to get a yellow flag, so it's going to take even more time. Someone went spinning up the hill in Brad Thacker in turn 2.
So the 56 with some issues here. Not exactly sure, but definitely North Wilkesboro, a lot of cautions here, which is I did not expect that many cautions here, surprisingly. But this is a short track, 3 wide. 3 wides. 3 wide usually doesn't work well at this track, and you can see why.
Yeah, that looked a lot like Reddick the other day. That
actually looked a lot better than it should have for I'd say for Brad, because Brad could have easily got smashed into the wall, but right here he just goes sideways, doesn't even touch the wall.
He stayed in the gas. Oh man, he almost got his front nose clipped off. Yeah, well, no, it was a good thing to do to save that thing. It kept him off the fence. If you're spinning out by the wall, sometimes you got to hold the throttle down. You don't always lock down the brakes, but you better just not start sliding back down the racetrack. But Brad Thacker did a great job there. That's exactly how you keep that thing out of the fence and keep your race going. Especially whenever somebody throws a bonsai 3 wide down last second to turn 1.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it was Nick Chbosky who was in the middle, and I'm not sure who the person that was on the bottom that's who threw that 3 wide.
It was Colby Jackson.
Colby Jackson, the 3. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I appreciate the effort. He went for the gap. It existed. He went for it.
He definitely went for it. I just don't think that the other drivers really knew that they were getting ready to be 3 wide, and it just happened suddenly. But he went for it. He definitely did that. And I think he's actually probably on newer tires right now as well.
Yeah, so he
that
feels
might
like he needs to get it done too, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're kind of harping on it, but I don't necessarily blame him for the move. He was just a little late on the brakes. If he could have stuffed it down in there and gotten on the brake pedal hard enough, it would have worked out to where he at least held the bottom side of the racetrack. But he definitely just washed up in the middle of the corner.
I do want to mention too, we did have a lot of drivers that actually decided to come to pit road that last time by. John Lucido came to pit road. He was running up in the top 3. He has elected to come down, take a set of tires. So we've had a lot of guys that have kind of thrown a little bit of some strategy plays out here.
Yeah, Lucido back on the outside of row number 7, so going to be starting in the 14th place position. James Harris up to 6. So the new tire's working out for James. We're going to have to see if that continues. He's actually in 7th. Sorry. But we've got the race leaders coming back to the green flag, working lap 38 to 39. Nathan Meyer back to the gas, and we're back to the green flag.
Look at Tyler Meeks, man. Meeks is not playing around. Oh, big bang there for 3rd place is Jason Taylor and Tyler Meeks beating and banging.
I love that big bang. James Harris throwing it down into turn number 3 under the 19. Gonna pick up a spot, working himself into 6th place position, I believe. But yeah, that was a big bang between Jason Taylor and Tyler Meeks. I was thinking about the same thing.
It looks like Meeks has gotten that position, though. He's now up to 3rd, highest running he's been all night long. So definitely a good run for the 7 so far. As I mentioned, I think he's kind of lost a lot of the momentum he's had this season. Oh, problem for Jason Taylor. Right in front of Harris, too. This is unfortunate.
Well, I don't know if it's unfortunate for Harris. He might have been the guilty party.
He could have been, yeah.
It looked like he turned Jason Taylor down the straightaway unintentionally. But yeah,
Brad Thacker too had some problems.
I think it's the next time by. We're gonna get. Oh,
no,
actually,
I don't think
never
that
mind.
was James's fault at all. Jason just got loose under braking.
I agree. I was on the rear chase cam of the leader, and man, from my perspective, it looked like he just ripped him around. I take it all back. I apologize to James. Yeah, Jason just got. Oh man, look
how much wheel he's got in there.
Holy crap!
No wonder he was.
That's such a weird loose condition too. It wouldn't have been like. It wasn't like a heavy loop.
Oh,
I don't know.
Man. And that's what happened with Brad Thacker. I was wondering, yeah, Brad was involved as well. I mean, that's.
Oof.
Wow.
Jason's got to take some wheel out of that thing, though, man. You can't be turning 90 degrees anywhere in the truck.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody turn so much.
And Brad was trying to take advantage of guys slowing down, and unfortunately did not see the 15 was sideways, and comes in and gives him a little bit of a suplex there at the end. Man, what a dramatic race.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been pretty eventful at the beginning, beginning of this thing so far. Big accidents. James Harris had to come to a stop, so I think he lost just about all his track position.
Not really. He's up to 4th. Somehow it gave it all back.
Oh, I missed that. Holy cow!
I don't know how, but he.
Well,
even though that I don't know. I mean, I even saw that last night in the A Open when I was spectating a friend of mine. He got all of his position back, like after an accident, the same way James just did. So I don't know if iRacing's messing with something that.
James Harris has the left front damage, but we don't think that he took his fast repair.
It could be.
If he did under the first.
Yeah, that's some damage. That's for sure.
Yeah, if he used that fast repair on that first caution, he's gonna be hurting.
Definitely pretty crumpled up. What I'm looking forward to, I've heard iRacing has got a big update coming up that's going to be really messing with the aero.
Thank God.
NASCAR vehicles.
The trucks.
Is it just the trucks? Okay.
Yeah. They got something bigger in the works for everything, but the one coming in supposedly season 3 is going to be for the truck. So these things are going to run pretty different for the next season of the Champion Power Equipment Truck Series.
I'm looking forward to it.
Nathan Meyer back into the restart zone and back to the green flag once again tonight from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. King and Sabilo. Oh man, I didn't expect that from Sabilo to drive it in that deep on the outside of turn number 1. He's sticking himself outside for the race lead.
Yeah, I think he's starting to realize how big track position he is. He's like, I got to get this position and get a little bit of clean air on my nose and try to just, then I can start relaxing. But he can't relax until he gets that position. Of course, Keegan and Nathan, they're on the oldest tires in the field, I do believe.
Oh, they're wrecking behind.
Oh, problems. The 67 of Kalen Mitchell. And you know what's really interesting, though, is these guys that are on the oldest tires, Keegan and Nathan, they're not really burning them up that much because it's just starting to stop. It's starting to stop.
Yeah, they're not even getting the tires up to temperature. Yeah. We're going to see exactly what happened to the 67. Yeah, just a little touch there from the 2 after he kind of checked up on exit. But they get it all straightened up. Nothing too major. We're going to use this opportunity to go to our first commercial break of the evening. Whenever we come back, we got more action from the North Wilkesboro Speedway coming at you live. Welcome back to the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series here from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We've got 50 laps completed, working lap number 51, so we're a third of the way through this thing. Keegan Sabilo up in the race lead after his main competitor has gone down pit road taking tires. We're going to be coming back to the green flag as Keegan Sabilo is going to lead us down, just like he did on the first go-around, but this time not spinning the tires, not getting loose, and not losing the race lead as they're 3 wide further back. Nathan Meyer on the bottom.
Yeah, Nathan Meyer, of course, pitted from the lead, so he's kind of in no man's, or I should say every man's land. It's not a good place to be deep in this pack. And we've seen caution after caution after caution. He is trying to work his way through. Oh, there goes Brad Thacker. Thacker's been involved in a lot of the crashes here tonight. As I do believe caution flag, shockingly, there it is. I thought it wasn't going to come out. I was like, wait a second, how?
Yeah, it was taking a little while, but both of them stayed straight, and they had a little bit of speed going against the wall, but finally the friction took them down, and they had to slow down, and the caution flag waved.
Oh, yeah, that I wouldn't even blame that on Thacker. Thacker was checking up to avoid the 3. Colby Jackson had braked, I think, suddenly, and Brad was trying to, I think, avoid his back bumper, and unfortunately, Nathan Meyer got into his rear end.
Yeah, I don't see any damage on Nathan Meyer, so I think Meyer's okay. But yeah, Meyer just couldn't get checked up in time enough for Thacker, who was reacting to Colby Jackson. Nathan Meyer was going for the move down to the bottom. Brad Thacker kind of reacting, and well, they kind of met in the middle. But I guess you got to say Meyer's got to take a little bit better care of him, though, right?
Man, he had the worst luck out of all, I think, because he just was minding his own business up top, and then get shoved up into the wall. Man.
Yeah, but that's the danger you put yourself in back there with Meyer putting on the tires. But you got to at some point. Like, everybody's taking tires at different points, putting themselves back in the hornet's nest. Except for King and Sabilo. He still hadn't done it. Up in the race lead still, saving those tires.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm really surprised that he hasn't elected to pitch yet. I mean, everybody around him is on new tires. But I mean, it seems like if the cautions keep falling this way, like why would you pit, right? I mean, you have the advantage of the restarts. Now, I think if Keegan loses the lead to Lucido and the caution comes out, yeah, then I'd pit probably.
Yeah, he's still got the clean air. That's a good point. But it's tough. Lucido's on, what, 25 lap fresher tires? Now, there's been a lot of cautions in there, so 15 green flag laps. But that's still pretty significant here.
Looks like
we're going to have to get one more trip around.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's happening. I think we're having a little bit of an issue getting everybody lined up. Another driver that hasn't pitted yet, William Mann Jr. in the 29. But he's kind of definitely being very conservative with his tires. He's in the 6th place. And you can understand why drivers are so scared to pit at this place. I mean, this is a short track. If you're deeper in the field, like further back, you can even go a lap down.
You definitely couldn't, especially just with the caution flags flying over and over, though. You know you're going to be stuck in the mud back there, and the wrecks just start happening mid-pack. Got another restart on offer for you, though. Keegan Sabilo to the inside with a pretty good jump over Lucido, who's got a little bit fresher rubber. Lucido's going to look to the inside, trying to just fall into line. He's going to try to get a bit of run off the corner.
He almost bumped him out of the way. I mean, I ain't never seen bump drafting at North Wilkesboro, but I think we're getting ready to see it here today. As you can see, the 73 very close to the rear end. This is the best camera we could probably watch right now because I'll tell you, Lucido is not playing around. And if I was in the 77 shoes, I would, go ahead. I do not want any part of Lucido spinning me out.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised he's racing him so hard. Not Lucido. I'm surprised Sabilo hasn't just let him go, right? Kind of race preservation, but I mean, he's looking all right, but he's looking at the bumper. Yeah, he's getting it at some point. He's got the older tires. Lucido puts the bumper to him, and he's going to take the race to lead as we come out of turn 2, but they're still side by side.
Oh, I think he might get it back. Oh, good on Sabilo. I think Sabilo thought better of it. He's like, let me not do that. Man. I gotta be honest. I don't think Lucido's bumper was really egregious. I think that was.
They just threw it in on James Harris from a mile back. I'm sorry, but I thought they were wrecking.
And Carter Casey up to 5th with that move.
Oh, Loveland in the grass, in the dirt, still on the apron. Oh, tough break for Loveland. He had fought himself into the top 3. It's going to move Carter Casey up a position. But yeah, that was some good hard racing up there at the front, man. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with using a little bit of a bumper here at North Wilkesboro. It's just, do you wreck the guy? And Lucido didn't wreck him, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, there's a right way to do it. I didn't see anything wrong there.
I think he did it the right way there, yeah.
Yeah. Sabilo did a good job, though. And, again, he's on the older tires. Once he got moved, he conceded. He didn't try to fight it. He knows he's on older stuff. He just wants to keep decent track position and maybe cycle out and pit with everybody else if we can get a 20, 30 green flag lap run.
I'll tell you who's the fastest on the track right now. Andrew Hale in that 4 car. He is looking really, really good right now, speed-wise. Carter Casey's looking fast. Nathan Meyer has worked his way up to 7th place. He's, of course, gotten pretty close to the back bumper of the 0-2. But a lot of fast cars starting to work their way forward. I didn't think Meyer was going to be able to work his way back up into the top 5, but I think it's going to be very soon he will be back up in there.
I'm surprised more guys on new tires aren't coming through, to be honest with you. I figured it would be a little bit bigger of an advantage, but I just think it's pretty hard to follow here, man. It's tough to get a good run off of somebody. Andrew Hale, though, got one off at turn number 2, diving to the inside of Keegan Sabilo, used the absolute outside groove through 1 and 2, ducked it back down to the bottom on exit, and was able to get a huge run. Still side by side.
That's the way to do it here. I mean, that is the way to do it. I mean, you kind of run that higher line just to build the momentum and then shoot it underneath. I mean, that is the way to make a pass here at North Wilkesboro. Unfortunately, Andrew just not quite able to get it done. He shoves it down in, and he's going to get it.
That was such an aggressive move. It felt like he was kind of skidding all the way around the corner there. Not like a big slide or anything, but I mean, he was right on the edge of control right there. Andrew Hale able to put himself up to 2nd, and he hasn't lost that much time to Lucido while battling for that position. I mean, he's flying.
And we also got to keep in mind right now that Hale is a reigning champion. Of course, he hasn't ran all the races this season, but he earned that championship last season, and that was at short track style tracks as well. He's not slow. This guy is capable of winning races.
Oh, he's flying right now. The way he's getting into the corner, I mean, he's driving in deep. He's definitely not trying to like save tires too hard, but we've seen so many cautions that it's, we talked about tire saving in the beginning part of this race. If it's going to be caution after caution after caution, that strategy kind of goes out the window. It doesn't matter as much. You want to push, then come down pit road and get some new tires whenever that yellow flag flies. And Andrew Hale, he's taking that to heart right now. He's to the inside of Lucido coming off a 4. Maybe not quite enough of a run. We just about get the yellow flag there with the 0-2 off the racetrack.
Yeah, it's a lot of racing going on with Tyler Meeks and Carter Casey. Of course, Keegan Sabilo is kind of holding these drivers up in a lot of ways because of the pace. But here we go, battle for the lead. Can Hale get underneath him? Hale is so much faster than Lucido right now. Last time by, he was about 0.3 faster than John Lucido, but it is incredibly difficult to pass. I mean, all that pace goes away when you're trying to get the run off the corner. And Lucido is not going to make this easy.
Now, Lucido's very committed to that outside groove. Even whenever Andrew Hale was running him down, he was sitting up on the outside, not willing to go down all the way to the inside of the racetrack. So Lucido is just playing that defensive line, right? And, I mean, he's doing it pretty well. Andrew Hale has not been able to get fully alongside of the 73 yet.
I got to give Lucido a lot of credit. I mean, he's looking really, really good here. He's running a defensive line, and I got to say, he's fast on the longer run, too. It doesn't seem like he's really burning his stuff up that much. I got to say, Lucido's got a chance here tonight. Ooh, 3 wide, further back. Ooh, almost 3 wide for just a second. Let's see. I think everybody's getting tired of Sabilo. Everybody's just like, we got to get by this guy. He's on older tires. And Carter Casey emerges into the top 3, as well as John Lucido, side by side under fire for the lead.
Yeah, Andrew Hale, as soon as I said he hadn't gotten side by side yet, he pulled fully alongside the 73. He has not been able to clear him yet. Has not been able to get a nose on him until we come down to turn 3. Heavier on the brakes for the driver of the 4. Just about gets him clear coming off of the corner. Oh, and the caution flag comes out. Nathan Myers around.
And that was the perfect time for Andrew Hale. He is going to have the lead because of that, but that is unfortunate for our points leader, the 24 of Nathan Meyer, our pole sitter. Let's take a look and see exactly what happened here for the 24. He falls back to 10th.
Sabilo kind of in the fence. Oh, Nathan Myers is loose under braking.
Yeah. This is just Nathan Meyer losing it under the brakes.
No damage, though. Gonna have to take some tires.
Sabilo's
obviously coming in.
Yeah, I was about to say I was curious about that. And the 77 is coming down to pit road. We're taking a look at the cockpit camera here for the 24. And, wow, he knew he was loose immediately after he hit the brake. He just started trying to counter steer it. And, yeah, it did not work. But, hey, at least he kept the truck from having any damage. And Sabilo is going to win the race off of pit road. Andrew Hale, of course, still our leader, though. This, of course, Sabilo up to 10, or back to 10th, I should say. We saw Carter Casey and James Harris come down, Nathan Meyer. It looks like we do see a fast repair for Harris.
Yeah, he's got all that damage fixed. He absolutely needed it. That left front was hurting him pretty bad. He was sliding towards the rear of the field on that run. But our championship leader, Nathan Meyer, spin it out to bring that caution, but made a championship move, not getting any damage on that truck. You think he's been using some champion power equipment?
Yeah, probably.
He very well could be. Because we are up in the broadcast booth, because this broadcast is brought to you by Champion Power Equipment. Since 2003, CPE has earned a reputation for designing and producing the market's finest power equipment. With over 4.5 million generators sold in North America, Champion has decades of experience providing dependable and durable power products designed and engineered in the United States for the North American and world markets. Visit us at championpowerequipment.com for more information. Champion Power Equipment, powering your life. Big thank you to Champion Power Equipment for sponsoring the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. How many times can I say Champion Power Equipment in a minute? I want to break a world record.
You could say it enough. I mean, I don't think you can say it enough, actually, what I meant to say.
I talk pretty daggum fast.
But what a segue. Great job on the segue into the Champion Power Equipment ad read.
I had to try something.
At the beginning of this race, you probably went down to a B. I think you went back up to an A after that.
I like that. Wow, you're so much more generous with the grades than I am. Where were you whenever I was trying to be an aerospace engineer? Why couldn't you have been my teacher?
But Andrew Hale up here in the lead.
Man.
Producer says I'm from North Carolina.
Yeah,
Wrong.
he meant South Carolina, but that's even funnier because he messed it up. Either way, Andrew Hale coming back to the restart zone. Oh man, Andrew Hale coming back to the green flag. We've crossed the halfway point under that caution period, or right before it. Andrew Hale, though, gonna easily take the lead down into the corner. John Lucido ended up coming down pit road, so he's back towards the back of the pack. Going to be able to fight his way through, though, along with a couple other guys, Keegan Sabilo, Nathan Meyer, James Harris, all coming down pit road, taking rubber.
Further back, 3 wide to Kalen Mitchell in the middle here. This is not a good thing. Oh, look at Lucido shooting the middle.
Oh, no. Well, now they're back. He's trying, man. He's not willing to run back in the back of this pack. Oh, the 67 gets loose. It's going to get tight. Oh, my word.
Oh,
no.
They're beating.
It's still tight. Oh,
this is going to end in a caution. There they go.
Oh, no. Okay,
wow,
I was wondering
I thought
what the
they were going to keep
was.
that together for a second there, too. Lucido was doing some really cool stuff there, I got to be honest, until it wasn't cool.
It was getting a little rough.
Yeah.
Little RG Bargy.
See John Lucido on the inside, and I think William
like
Mann kind of got loose, too, came down a little bit, maybe.
We need another angle. I want to see if Mann got loose. I felt like Lucido didn't use all the racetrack on the bottom. I know he's got a car way down there. But I felt like he had another lane to give. But if Mann Jr. got loose, then... Well, he did come off... he came off the wall at a very weird angle. I'll give him that. Or I'll give you that for sure. That would have been kind of tough to react to. I don't know. That's a weird one. I mean, just the
wide.
the angle
just
that the 29 was taking into the corner, I've never... it just looked like it was rotating so good off the wall.
I just would blame that 3 wide. I mean, it just doesn't usually work here that well. But, I mean, they were making it work for a second there.
I mean, he gets into the fence. I almost feel... But does he? I mean, yeah, he's definitely loose.
He's definitely loose.
That explains why he was coming down the racetrack. Okay. Well, the angle looked very strange to me. Maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. But
I mean, he was counter steering, so he was dirt tracking it right there. But Andrew Hale has come to pit road. Tyler Meeks has stayed out. Keegan Sabilo, who pitted not long ago, he's up towards the lead now. So that actually, that whole strategy, he saved a set of tires essentially and is still back in this thing. So, I mean, the strategy worked.
Him and James Harris. James Harris is right behind him.
Well, James, though, has used 2 sets. I mean, then again, it really doesn't matter how many sets you've used that much really anyway, because we're coming up, I do believe, to about 65 to go, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did just use that second set. So, like, he's got one more in the pits, and with only 65 laps to go, and with the cautions we've had, you're not going to pit more than once from here on out. There's no way. So I think he's, on a good enough strategy to where he is even with the leaders. Even if he's down a set of tires, I don't see that mattering at this point.
I wouldn't even be surprised if some drivers don't pit the rest of the race. Like Keegan might be one of those guys. I mean, he might just be like, I'm just going to stay out for the rest of the race.
I think you might be right, honestly. Sabilo is going to save his tires like crazy to make sure he keeps that track position. I don't see him really giving it up at any point. Tyler Meeks coming into turn number 3 with a little bit of right front damage. So that 7 might be struggling a little bit off the jump. Coming to the restart zone. Tyler Meeks is going to lead us through. Bring us back under the green flag. Keegan Sabilo back on the front row. James Harris all over the back. Tyler Meeks thinks about making it 3 wide into turn 1, but backs out of it before he does. Maybe gets to the quarter panel. Not quite. Sabilo's going to take the lead.
Also saw Russ Kilgore. I think he kind of blew his braking zone. Went up all the way to the top. Oof.
Or Harris. Harris just punted the heck out of Tyler Meeks.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like James Harris is he's not playing any games right now. Nathan Meyer, of course, right there as well. Well, I mean, we got to think about it. Harris, he's seeing his championship hopes just burn away, essentially. And he's got to do everything he can right now to keep this alive.
Yeah, Nathan Meyer seeing his 2 championship contenders run away up in the front 2 positions right now. Sabilo out to a good lead. James Harris easily in 2nd place. And Nathan Meyer stuck behind that side-by-side battle, and he might be in 1 himself. The 19 stays outside, coming out of 2. Yeah, he's going to be able to, well, he cleared him, but he ended up giving him the space either way. He's fighting a little bit harder back here than Sabilo and Harris are having to up in first and second.
Yeah, and he's having to fight with Carter Casey, who's, no slouch himself. Tyler Meeks has been really fast here, but of course Meeks is on the older tires at the moment. But it looks like I think Meyer is going to finally get that position up to fourth now. Keegan Sabilo, 0.4 of a second gap. 3 wide. Nick Jaboski in the middle there for a second. Ooh, ooh. Definitely some insane racing here at North Wilkesboro. I'll tell you that. Close quarters combat.
Sabilo's doing the same thing on the bottom of the racetrack he was doing early. The tire saving line wrapping the bottom of 3 and 4. I'm telling you, if this thing goes green, he's gonna whip the field.
Yeah, definitely very impressed with. I mean, he's a short track driver. This is to be expected from the 77. Even Meyer, when we've interviewed him, has said that these are the tracks that we're going to have to watch Sabilo, that Sabilo's going to be strong. As we're 3 wide there for a moment, I do believe seeing some drivers trying to shoot underneath. That's Nick Jaboski we're watching there. Of course, 3 Colby Jackson, I think, trying to make a pass on the inside.
Can we go on board with James Harris through 3 and 4? I just want to show everybody how much narrower Keegan Sabilo is running off the corner, if we can. So let's ride with James Harris for a lap. 1 and 2 is not too crazy, I don't believe. James Harris with a wider line on entry, cutting it down, a little bit of a different line, but it's nothing crazy. Then coming down into 3 and 4. Watch the way that Sabilo just wraps the bottom of the corner. He gets down all the way to the apron, and he never comes off of it. Of course, James Harris really wraps the bottom as soon as I start talking about it. I think he's watching the broadcast.
That apron kind of helps you. It helps you turn.
It does, but man, as soon as I said that, James Harris adopted the line. It made me look like an idiot.
I mean, it helps you turn. But one thing I'm noticing too, like just watching these guys, it just seems like the trucks are very floaty. They don't have a whole lot of grip. It seems like. And that kind of.
Hey, that's North Wilkesboro, man.
It just doesn't seem like they're as planted as they usually are.
Oh, James Harris might be under fire here. Carter Casey, 2 is inside. Through 3 and 4. Going to be side by side coming off of the corner. But I think Carter Casey's going to take that.
Yeah, he took it like it was nothing there. Probably the easiest pass we've seen all night. Carter Casey up to 2nd place. We also saw Andrew Hale get by, I do believe, John Legger is now up to 5th place, I should say. And Hale was one of the fastest. He actually is the fastest on the track right now.
Still 53 laps to go this time. The leaders just took lap number 98, so we still got a little ways to go in this one. But again, if this thing runs green, and Carter Casey's quick too. I'll be honest. I think you definitely nailed it on the head with your pre-race pick. Going to be the one guy that's going to be able to challenge Sabilo on a long run, because Carter Casey's running a pretty similar line in 3 and 4. He's waiting for the truck to rotate up off the corner, not really pushing it, not forcing that right front tire. I think Casey and Sabilo are I think, of the class of the field whenever it comes to the short tracks.
100%. I mean, and like I said, I've said it before. Carter Casey is someone I know from the past, and he has always been a short track driver. I mean, like, not in real life or anything like that, but he specializes in running short track style racing. I mean, from what I remember, he races the super lates or lates, on iRacing. That was what he was known for, and clearly he's showing that here today here at North Wilkesboro. As of course they catch lap traffic. I think that's Kalen Mitchell, I do believe.
Yeah, that might have checked up Carter a little bit on the exit, but it also hurt Sabilo's entry, so pretty even wash getting around the lap traffic. And with 20-second lap times that they're running right now, it's going to be a little while before they catch any more, I do believe. They got about a 8.5 second gap to run down to Colby Jackson for another little bit of lap traffic.
And you see a lot of racing further back. Of course, Nick Jaboski off to the back end of Tyler Meeks. Meeks, of course, is on the oldest tires, I do believe, in the field right now. As well as looking up further, you see Jason Taylor, Brad Thacker fighting. Right now, the fastest on the track, I think, is James Loveland. I think he's on fairly new tires at the moment, 0-2.
Yeah, the earliest guys, or the newest tires, I should say. Andrew Hale running 5th. James Loveland running in the 8th place spot, and Jason Taylor running in 9th. They all pitted 19 laps ago. The race leaders pitted 28 laps ago at the line.
See Loveland able to make the pass there, moves up to 7th place. Now I'm going to set his sights on the 19 of John Legger. Of course, for the most part, I'd say the top position is separated by about a second from first to second place. James Harris, of course, not too far behind him is a battle for, I do believe, fourth. Looks like the 3 had an issue. But Andrew Hale and Nathan Meyer in the midst of a battle. Now, these two do have history. I've seen these two not be too happy with each other last season. As we see, I think someone just got loose at 67 of Kalen Mitchell on the bottom right in front of our leaders.
Gonna check out a replay of the number 3 of Colby. Okay. Well.
Ooh, what a hit.
I think we need to install some safer barriers here.
Yeah, no wonder he made his way to pit road. That was quite a hit.
Paramedic on the racetrack. I think he, I'd be willing to bet that was a hardware failure. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, goodness gracious. Either way, Keegan Spilo still leading the way by about a second over Carter Casey. Been hovering around there for the last handful of laps. Andrew Hale does look really quick, though. All over to the back bumper of James Harris coming out of turn number 4. Looking to make it a top 3 spot out of Andrew Hale. But I would be worried he's running off the tires a little bit too early. If this thing runs green, like I mentioned, or spin out James Harris. And he's going to do it. That's going to bring out the yellow.
The yellow flag.
Oh my,
more hits.
James.
John Legger comes up and gives him another tap there. That's unfortunate. I thought this thing was going to go green to the end, the way it was looking. And it looks like just Hale gets a pretty good run on the center, but it just pops in right into the back of the 55. And then James Harris, as you mentioned, doesn't stay where he's at, comes down the track, and the 19 has nowhere to go.
That was, I mean, yeah, Andrew Hale definitely just ran into the back of him. I mean, let's be honest. But we're going to go ahead and take our final commercial break of the racing action. Whenever we come back, we're going to have the rest of it to the checkered flag, under green, under no commercial. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series from the North Wilkesboro Speedway. We're back under the back under the green. Okay, well, the sign off and the sign back in were absolutely terrible this last time around, but we got a good restart. That's all that matters. Keegan Spilo, though, to the race lead. Jabowski on old tires. He's struggling 3 wide.
Yeah, this is a scary ordeal, right? Jabowski in the middle, 3 wide. As you can see, the 56 of Brand Thacker trying to work his way through. It looks like he's going to get clear. That was a very, very scary ordeal for the 82. I mean, I'm shocked that we made it through that. Of course, Keegan Sabilo up to the lead. Nathan Meyer, he's up to second place at the moment. We see a big battle going on. I do believe Loveland and Carter Casey fighting for third.
And that's not what Keegan Sabilo wants to see, right? Like, obviously, he wants to win the race. And that's, you know, first and foremost in his mind right now. That's what the job he's got to do. But he can't be seeing that Crown Royal purple in his rearview mirror for the championship, man. I mean, that's just, it's frustrating for Sabilo, man.
Well, I mean,
he behind George Young. Oh, he saved it. He saved it. I can't believe it. I thought we were going back into the yellow. William Mann Jr. still freaking out up there, but we're good.
Yeah. That was almost a caution right there for sure. But no, you're 100% right. Keegan needs Meyer to be finishing 15th. Like, he just didn't need him to be in second place because, I mean, even if he wins the race, it doesn't pay as many points as he needs. I mean, Keegan, in order for him to have a chance at the championship, he needs Nathan to have a bad day.
I mean, the only saving grace for him right now is that there's a long line of cars that are trying to get past Nathan Meyer. So maybe Nathan makes a mistake or gets a little nudge from somebody and he loses a handful of spots. That's kind of what Sabilo's hoping for at this point.
And it could happen. I mean, it's very easy for something like that to happen. I mean, Carter Casey's real fast. Who's to say he doesn't get impatient and try to bump the 24 out of the way? I mean, Loveland has been showing some speed. We also got Andrew Hale. He's proven that he'll bump you out the way.
And I see in our chat, Colby Jackson did say that his wheel disconnected. That doesn't surprise me one bit. That was a hard hit a couple of yellows ago. Keegan Sabilo, though, leading the race, coming out of turn number 2. Still rocking that throwback paint scheme he was running last week. But man, I'm telling you, they're lined up to pass Nathan Meyer, but nobody's got the run on him yet.
Well, I just don't think that they have the speed to be able to get past him. I mean, he's running about the same laps as them. Maybe a little bit slower, but I mean, you have to be dramatically faster in order to make passes look easy at this track. James Harris, though, probably trying to get by Brad Thacker for 6th place.
James just won't go away. I mean, he's been involved in just about everything, man.
He definitely has been. Somehow he still has a truck. I don't know how, but he's still driving.
And he's driving it up into the top 6. He's back into 6, and he's running down our front 5.
I think this is just pure willpower, keeping that 55 going right now. But definitely closing in towards the end of this race, 123 laps in. As we're closing in, I do believe on 27 to go next time by.
I guess you do have a little bit of North Carolina in you.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was right. Took him out of the South.
Man, I tell you, y'all just underestimate me up here. I'm leaving.
I just don't trust your math skills. So whenever I hear you get one right, man, I feel proud.
That's like stereotyping at its worst right there.
I
Here comes Casey, though. Casey coming up to the rear end. Can he get the pass? I think Casey's looking desperately to get by Loveland. He wants to get this interview. Loveland, get a little bit wiggly.
Let's get wiggly, boys. I love that one. We gotta remix that.
Hey, Loveland's not done though.
He's not, man. He's still fighting back on the outside.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be done after that big wiggle, but it looks like yeah. Look at him. I mean, he's got clear again.
Darby, I really need you to cut out the getting wiggly scream and the big wiggle he just said, and we are remixing something. It's gonna make
the wiggles here tonight,
I'm
guys.
telling you, it's gonna make a video. We're gonna make a beat for it. It's gonna be an iRacing music video starring Brian Britt.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be famous.
Titled "Get Wiggly."
Yeah, get wiggly on iRacing.
We need to compilate as many loose clips as we can find.
I'm down. I'll sign off on it. As long as you don't make it like vulgar or anything like that, I'm down.
No. The most vulgar it's gonna be is "Get Wiggly."
I'll tell you what, it's getting pretty real down on the racetrack. These guys are desperate to get past Loveland, but Loveland has proven to be very difficult to pass. Casey now back to the inside.
Yeah, the tires are still just, I feel like, too new. You can really fight back on the outside groove, but as soon as I say that, Loveland a little bit too far outside through 1 and 2. Going to actually give up both these spots. He was able to hang on for a while, but maybe he's worn those tires out a little bit more than I had expected over the first 20 laps of the run. He's starting to slide a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
James Harris hasn't really been able to catch into the group like it looked like he was going to, though.
I think he just overextended. I think Loveland definitely overextended. He's right now hitting 20.8s. Now, Harris has got a chance to get back up into the top 5. He's running as fast as the leader right now. Now, Meyer is actually not running very fast compared to Sabilo. Carter Casey is going to be running down Meyer if he keeps this up. But then again, I think Casey's got his hands full with Hale.
Well, that could be a double dose of positive for Keegan Sabilo. What if they both run him down and both get by Nathan Meyer? That would probably put a smile on his face. But man, I don't think Hale's willing to wait.
No, I think you're right. I think that's what Keegan would want. He's like, please get up here and battle this 24. Give me some extra points buffer between me and that 24. I'll cash app you after the race.
Oh my. He's hip. Next, he's going to start making TikTok references.
But this battle, though, going on for third place, getting hot right now is the 4 all over the back bumper of the 8. And I think there's a bumper maybe possibly on the exit of 4.
I think they were touching. They were pretty daggum close. He's getting there to where he's like, I'm here, buddy. You're going to get moved out of the groove pretty soon.
I love that paint scheme. I mean, that just takes me right back to watching Looney Tunes. Like Acme, you see Sylvester and Tweety. I am showing my age right now.
Well, Carter Casey's trying to not be Tweety right now, but it kind of looks like he's about to be. Oh man, Andrew Hale all over the back bumper, almost gets to the inside, but he got a little wiggly. Wasn't able to do anything with it.
The 4, Andrew Hale looking like Roadrunner right there. You see the Wile E. Coyote on the side of that race car. But definitely awesome race right now for third place. They're fighting to see who's going to get to talk to you, Austin.
I don't know why they're fighting for that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, you hate it every single week. The only reason you're up here is because you get paid for it. They come up here willingly. What the heck?
That's not true. This is awesome battle, though.
Yeah, it's a great battle for second, and Meyer's falling off of Keegan Sabilo.
Oh, yeah.
I told you if we could get that long run, man, Sabilo was just going to be flying, and he's starting to stretch out that lead.
He is. I mean, he's the fastest car on the track right now. Well, one of the fastest. Casey actually is a little bit faster. But, I mean, Casey can't really do much with, Keegan, because Keegan's 1.6, 1.7 seconds out. But I think this is the best case scenario for Keegan, because if Meyer is under fire, he's got to last for 12 laps. Keegan he's like, please pass him, please pass him.
I mean, that's plenty of time. I mean, these 12 laps are going to click off pretty fast, but that's plenty of time for one of them to make a move back there. But Casey has kind of fallen off the rear bumper just a little bit. He had gotten up there, but starting to put a little bit of a distance, Nathan Meyer is, over Carter Casey, as Casey's still just under fire. I don't even know if Carter Casey can run the exact line he wants to. I think he's having to go a little defensive to make sure Hale doesn't get there.
No, I think you're exactly right. I mean, he's trying to stay in Hale's way and not let that driver get by him, so he's taking probably a little bit more of a narrow entry.
Uh-oh. Thought he was going to catch him off the corner and give him a little shot. I think he thought better of it. There might have been a little tap.
Hey, I think it might happen very, very soon, because, I mean, you got to think that we're getting close to the end of this thing. Hale's getting probably a little impatient with the 8 right now. And who can blame him? I mean, he's like, man, get out of my way.
Yeah, I mean, he's fighting for that top 3 spot, right? He's fighting to come up here and talk to me. He's got to do everything he can to get it, man. Very, very elusive prize.
Well, I mean, also Carter won last week. You gotta think he's feeling himself. He's
doing a good job holding him off. I mean, obviously he's not quite as quick as Andrew Hale is right now, but he's been running a good line. Andrew Hale trying to get to the right rear quarter panel. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then maybe try the cutback coming off the corner as they were trying to get past John Lucido. Andrew Hale's going to stop in there. He's finally to the bottom.
I'm curious how Lucido went a lap down, but it does look like Hale might get this position. Can Casey hold him off up top?
We're about to see Alex Bowman and Denny Hamlin, aren't we?
We might. This is definitely going to get interesting.
Oh, he's loose. He's a little loose. Oh, good hold there from Andrew Hale. That's a pretty nice slider. Carter Casey, though, looking back to the inside. He's not done. He doesn't want to give up that third place spot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's done there now.
Yep, coming off of 2 there. There's no chance.
We also have a battle
a gap
between
for
Loveland
Meyer,
and Harris. Loveland and Harris are side by side for 5th right now.
Looks like Harris is going to win that. Oh, nope. Harris gets a little loose on the bottom side of the racetrack. Still going to be side by side entering 1. I think Loveland's going to have the better run coming off the corner. He's got the outside of the racetrack. He does inch himself forward down the straightaway, tags the wall a little bit, hurts the run, and James Harris back to the inside in 3 and 4. Harris trying to do a little bit better this time, coming out of 4, not quite able to do it. Good fight between these 2 for a top 5.
It's so easy to get loose down there on that bottom side coming out of 4. It's just that apron, you know, it helps you turn, but sometimes it helps you turn too much, especially on the longer run.
Only 3 laps to go this time by for Keegan
slide
Sabilo.
job.
Yeah, James Harris just got it done, finally. Barely able to clear Loveland for the 5th place spot, move him up into the top 5, but Keegan Sabilo up in the race lead, did a great job saving his tires at the beginning of this run. Now he's just hoping and praying he can get around one more time without that yellow flag flying.
Yeah, what a fantastic job for Keegan. I mean, this is why he's the short track, king of this series. Clearly, he's got that real world experience, and that pays. Last lap, he was fastest on the track by like 0.3, so he knows what he's doing around these tracks. As here he comes, the white flag waving here.
Keegan Sabilo down into turn 1 and 2 for the final time tonight. Clearly the class of the field. That's why 2 of us picked him, and even the one that didn't said that was the right pick. So not any surprises from the North Wilkesboro Speedway and the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. Keegan Sabilo will take the checkered flag and win tonight, but he does not extend that points lead by much because Nathan Meyer finishes in the 2nd place spot.
Yeah, that's got to be a heartbreaker for Keegan. I mean, to win, and it's kind of a bittersweet win, I got to be honest, because he just doesn't get the points lead that he needed. He needed Nathan to do terribly.
I feel like Sabilo definitely got a couple more bonus points, too. He was leading a whole heck of a lot of laps, so I feel like potentially Sabilo with more bonus points, but regardless, it's not as big of an advantage as he would have wanted coming to this racetrack, but he's going to celebrate the win nonetheless, as he should. Dominating performance from the driver of the 77. We're going to take our final commercial break of the evening. Whenever we come back, we're going to have 3 interviews on offer for you from the top 3 finishers. Welcome back to the North Wilkesboro Speedway. This is the final results here for the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. Keegan Sabilo taking home the checkered flag. Nathan Meyer in 2nd. And Andrew Hale rounds out the podium. Carter Casey finishes in the 4th place spot with James Harris in 5th. James Loveland 6th. John Thacker in 7th. Tyler Meeks finishes in the 8th place spot with Jason Taylor in 9th. And Russ Kilgore rounds out your top 10.
11th place, George Young. William Mann Jr. rounding out the lead lap cars. He's in 12th. Ray Kinnison, first car on lap down, 13th. Nick Jaboski, 14th. John Lucido, 15th. Kalen Mitchell in 16th. John Letter in 17th. Colby Jackson rounds out this 18-car field after he had a wheel disconnect.
Well, we're going to jump straight into our top 3 interviews. First up, we're going to pull down our 3rd place finisher, Andrew Hale. Andrew, you had a great race tonight. I feel like you probably passed the most cars in the field. Kind of run us through your race and that battle at the end for the podium spot.
Yeah, it's the 8, I think, Carter. Yeah, I raced him clean as I could. Got into him a few times, but he was braking sooner than I was, so I was trying to back up my entry, and I can't get off good. I was more getting in and center. But, yeah, I don't know if I passed the most cars. I'd say the 77 probably did.
That might be a safe bet. But you were up there, though. You were making
Yeah.
moves all night, man.
Yeah, it was a fun race. I like short tracks, strategy, tire saving. I should have saved a little bit more on that last run. Didn't get the rears as hot. I couldn't get off the corner like I wanted. I was holding during early in the race, I was holding the bottom off of 4 real late, getting it straight off and driving straight to the flag stand. And I started driving like everybody else. Had to calm myself back down and I could save tires. But other than that, it was fun. I did not mean to wreck the 55, even though he's blaming me that I straight cleaned him out. From what I see, he entered shallow, I entered high, and of course I'm going to have more center speed, and I was off the brake, and then he's like, he just checked up. But it is what it is, it's short track racing if you ask me, but I'm getting blamed that I wrecked him, so oh well.
Well, either way, Andrew... oh, sorry.
Last season, I had a chance to win Dover, and he went into 1 and ran me all the way up to the wall, but I never said a word.
Well, nonetheless, Andrew, still congratulations on the top 3 finish. I mean, a heck of a run for you tonight, and bringing home a good finish at the end of it. Who do you have to thank at the end of this one?
I'd like to thank Champion Power Equipment for helping us put this thing on. James, who goes through all the things of scheduling and making these, getting all the races set up. And you guys up in the broadcast booth, y'all do a hell of a job.
Well, we appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you for the kind words, and once again, congratulations on the top 3 finish.
All right, thank you guys.
That was our 3rd place finisher, Andrew Hale. Next up, we're going to bring Nathan Meyer, our points leader, up to the booth to talk to Brian.
Nathan, man, what a great race for you today. I mean, of course, you were struggling to kind of hold off some guys there in that last run, but it seemed like, you were able to hold on to second and really limit the amount of points that Keegan could gain on you. Was that the whole strategy today?
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely not a short track racer by any means, so I knew that second was probably going to be the best I would get, but as long as I could just keep them, in my window is going to be okay. But it was a pretty good race. I think whoever has the lead has a really big advantage, but yeah, I kept it close and he only gained 1 point, so I think I'm up 14 with 2 races left.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely is pretty good for you, for sure. I mean, what did you do to prepare for tonight? Because, I mean, even though you said you're not great at the short tracks, you still were good enough to be able to work your way through the field. So definitely, what was the preparation looking like?
Yeah, I watched some Twitch streams there today to kind of get the racing line, see how it's going to go. But I think the track was a lot harder in this session than it is in the officials. So good thing I didn't practice there, because it would have been a little different. But yeah, I just kind of watched the videos on how to run here and what the line was, and it worked out.
Definitely did for you. Great job on the second place. Of course, you're getting closer and closer to the end of the season. How do you feel about Charlotte? Do you feel like that's a track that's more in your wheelhouse than North Wilkesboro?
Oh yeah, definitely. The 1.5 mile, 2 mile tracks, definitely way better at those. I'm definitely going to compete for the win there, and that track's pretty tight racing, especially on new tires, so it'll be a lot of fun. I know Keegan's his favorite tracks aren't those kind of tracks, so hopefully I can widen the gap next week, and then at Gateway it won't be such of a issue on where the points are. So
yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that kind of works out. I know Keegan's been getting better at those 1.5 miles, I gotta say. But
yeah, he said Justin was coaching him up on those bigger tracks, so if Justin's coaching him, they gotta watch out.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely great job though to you, Nathan, limiting the points gained from Keegan. Who can we shout out tonight?
Yeah, thanks to you guys for putting this on. Champion, Green Mountain Grills, Blackstone Management, all those guys for doing this. It's been really awesome. And yeah, just thank you guys again.
All right. right. Thanks, Nathan, for your time.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, that was Nathan Meyer, driver of the 24 machine. Next up, Austin's going to be talking to our winner.
That I am. Keegan Sabilo, I can't say I'm surprised. Our producer can't say he's surprised. And, well, Brian, even the guy that didn't pick you, can't say he's surprised. We all kind of figured you'd find your way into victory lane here tonight from the short track at North Wilkesboro. What are you thinking after that race, man? I thought, you know, it would be a good opportunity for you to gain a lot of points in the championship, but Meyer's keeping it close.
Yeah, no, he had a good second place run there. This was, I don't know if it was more difficult. It was a lot more different than I expected. I didn't expect as much fall off as we had tonight, which personally I loved the lot more fall off, because then you kind of just get in your rhythm here, back it down, and take care of it, and you'll be okay. These races are sometimes could be a race of attrition, especially the longer ones. So just kind of got to keep the car together for the whole race. You got to keep the tires together for the run, and you're gonna have a shot at it. But thankful we got it done tonight. It's been a little bit since we've had a big win in anything, so we'll take it.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the easiest race, of course. Towards the beginning of the race, you were stuck in a good side-by-side battle for the race lead. Just talk on the racing out here tonight, up towards the front of the field. It seemed like y'all were all racing hard, but racing respectful. So, just talk about how tough it was to pass, I suppose.
It was pretty difficult because you could really pinch someone down. I felt like at the beginning I actually was saving my tires in the bottom when I was side by side. So I feel like I maybe could add, it would have took 2 to 3 laps instead of like 10. It was, even though it wasn't that difficult for like 10 laps long, but it was pretty difficult tonight, because all you had to do is really have the guy in the middle, especially in 1 and 2, and just pretty much just pinch you down next to the grass, and you're gonna have no exit, because they take away the exit from you. So you're just gonna spin the tires, and you're not really gonna go anywhere. So it was really difficult to pass, and I think the reason there was so many passes tonight was all the different tire strategies. I think was the whole reason. And then once we all kind of got in the same tire strategy, it was really hard to pass each other.
Well, Keegan, I gotta say, in the middle of the race, I kind of called that your long run speed was going to be ridiculous. Can you just talk to me about your line through 3 and 4, man? What are you doing? How is that so effective for you? Because I just feel like you're able to save so much tire the way you're running off that corner.
In 3 and 4?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 3 and 4, you're gonna go down. I kind of was checking up early, getting it to right next to the curb, kind of letting it roll a little bit. And then my goal was to exit low and just kind of pedal through the throttle. You could really just mash on it. And I was doing that kind of around lap 100 area, and then, or on the last set of tires. And then I realized how they were starting to go away. So especially if you get the track position, just back it down as much as you can, and you get control. And then it's going to pay off on the long run, especially if it goes green flag.
All right, I'm telling you guys, if you want to race some officials this week, that's the exact advice you need on how to run 3 and 4. You'll be unbelievably quick on the long run. Just practice that time and time again. I'm telling you, the way you were running off of turn 4, I could tell that was just going to be, what would win you the race if this thing ran green. So big congratulations on winning it. Who do you have to thank?
Yeah, thank you to all the sponsors on the trucks. It'll be the Racing Esports, After Hours Restorations, Admin Box, Johnson iRacing Team, Just Bosky Designs for hooking me up with the nice paint here to get it done. Thank you to James, Champion Power Equipment, everyone who puts this on. Was a lot of fun tonight. Appreciate you guys at Grid Vision for all you do with the broadcast, and Justin for helping me out all the time. Thank you to my teammates also who were in the race. Nick was able to lead a couple of laps there by staying out, and Kaylin didn't have the best tonight, but still was a lot of fun to run with them and with everyone else, and just great race overall. And appreciate everyone tuning in, and hopefully we'll have some fun next week at Charlotte.
Well, we can't wait to see you next week at Charlotte to see if you can make it back to back here for the Champion Power Equipment iRacing Truck Series. Big congratulations to you, Keegan, on the checker flag tonight.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it, guys.
All right, that was our race winner, Keegan Sobilo, and that is going to do it for the interviews for the race here at North Wilkesboro. Brian, do you have any final thoughts as we maybe check out our schedule?
Oh, you care what I think? Oh, wow. That's
Sometimes.
Nice. Definitely a great race. I mean, I gotta say that, that is a bittersweet race there for, of course, Keegan not grabbing as many points over, Nathan as he probably wanted to. But I'm definitely interested to see what Charlotte's going to look like. It's starting to heat up. These races have been really fun to watch.
And looking at our schedule, the Thunderclap iRacing Series is going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And then on Thursday, we got the High Slide League coming in from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway at 7 Eastern. And then Saturday, well, we got some Indy 500 action from the Major Series. You better tune into that. That's going to be unbelievably fun. That's going to be coming at you live at 9 p.m. Eastern. From the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to Kigo Sabilo on winning tonight's race from the Wilkesboro Motor Speedway. The North Wilkesboro Speedway. Man, it's been a rough night. This has been Austin Edstrom. I might not want to put that out there. And Brian Britt alongside me in the booth. And, of course, Austin Derbyshire behind the production cameras. We'll see you next time on The Grid.